Yo! Welcome back to Commentate the Fandoms. This is Shivari. Today we're going to be trying something a little different. It's something that I've really wanted to do for the longest time. So, have you guys ever just really wished that a fan fiction that you were reading, even a comic that you were reading, but primarily fan fiction, was read to you so that you can do other things, just like with audiobooks? There's not an option for that, right? So finally, years down the line, I've decided to give it a try myself, just so that it's available either for myself or others who are interested in the ones that I am reading aloud. So, other reason why I'm doing this is actually because there seems to be still a lot of negative stigma with fan fiction and fanfic writers, which is simply ridiculous. Like, most of the other YouTubers that I've come across that will read fan fictions seem only intent on finding like the really bad ones or cringy ones with bad grammar, no to little plot, or it's just riddled with plot holes. And while some of those may be fun to read for laugh's sake or even make fun of, there are a lot of good stories out there. There are people who are pretty much just writing books, like entire series, novels, for free on characters or series that you yourself may be interested in, different ideas and just takes or dimensions about it. So the one that I'm going to be reading today that I enjoyed greatly reading a while back is called Cheaters Prosper. It is a Naruto fan fiction, all right, and it is by Drakensis, maybe I pronounced it right. It could be pronounced some other kind of way, who knows. The summary is, what's with all this fighting fair? Naruto's going to win ninja fashion, by hook, by crook, and all within the rules, technically. All right, so again, this is Cheaters Prosper by Drakensis, and you can find it on fanfiction.net. All right, here we go. Story time. Hinata stared worriedly at Naruto. Thus far, the boy hadn't written anything down at all on his question paper, just sat there frowning at Ibiki. Naruto-kun, she whispered. It wouldn't matter for her if she got disqualified for showing him her answers. Someone as weak as her couldn't pass, but if she could help someone else pass, then that would be a triumph of sorts. But if she cheated, she would be hurting Kiba-kun and Shino-kun's chances. The blond boy drummed his fingers on the table for a moment, and then nodded abruptly to himself as if in decision. Much to the astonishment of everyone in the room, he stood up, picked up his question paper, and then walked along the bench to where Kabuto was sitting, checking his completed test. Naruto plucked the paper out of the old Genin's hands, passed him his own blank sheet of paper, and ambled back to sit next to Hinata with Kabuto's answers in front of him. What the hell do you think you're doing? Ibiki asked, somewhat incredulously. Naruto gave him an innocent look. Cheating, he replied, in a voice that conveyed an implicit duh. The pencil in one of the Chunin observer's hands snapped as he tried desperately not to break out laughing at the expression on his superior's face. I think that cost me 2 points, didn't you say? Added Naruto. Which means that unless Kabuto screwed up massively and only got 2 questions right, and I don't think that's too likely, I've got at least 1 point left. Ibiki sighed. The general point of cheating is not to get caught, dumbass. Yeah, but if you don't disqualify everyone who cheats, just penalize them, then cheating's allowed in the rules. So, I cheated once, Naruto shrugged, and made sure that once was all I needed. I guess that works, Ibiki conceded reluctantly. Anko shunshined into the tower at the center of the forest of death, appearing in a cloud of smoke that masked the leaves that she had intended to arrive with. What the hell? She snapped, instantly aware that there were unknowns behind her, and lunged forwards, rolling to bring them into view as she came back to her feet, a kunai ready in one hand. She need not have bothered, however, as instead of a hostile force, she saw instead a tumbled trio of Guinea, one of them the loud brat she'd scratched up before briefing the candidates for the second round. He was more or less on the bottom of the heap, which didn't help much since he was the only one not tied up. The Uchiha brat was glaring as impotently as an Uchiha, who, as a clan, tended to take impotence to new depths from what she recalled. The pink-haired girl was trying to beat up the blonde, but it wasn't working out so well, given she was tied up, if less comprehensively than the Uchiha brat. Anko shook her head. What the hell are you three playing at? The responses suggested that it was Naruto's fault. Not exactly a surprise, but getting to the tower this soon after the start of the exam had to be some kind of record. Then Naruto managed to work one hand out of the tangle and display 2 scrolls. Anko blinked. Getting to the tower with 2 scrolls, technically completing the mission in, not quite an hour? That really was a record-breaking performance. Okay, she said. Well, you're here, and you have the scrolls. That's good. You're in the time limit. You have your whole team, and the scrolls are sealed. It's not our fault, Sakura protested as Naruto released her. She promptly smacked the boy and went to help Sasuke, who had mostly managed to get himself loose. The special Jonin shook her head. Actually, I can't think of a reason to disqualify you. He completed the mission after all, even if he did it by tying his teammates up and carrying them. Who did you take the scroll off? No one, Naruto confessed. I sneaked into the back of the stall and replaced a couple of the scrolls with fakes while the spares were being packed away. That happened after you were sent into the forest, didn't it? I sent Kagebushin into the forest, explained Naruto. Then I sailed Sasuke and Sakura into a storage scroll and hinged myself into a senbon while I was holding the scroll. One of my Bushin stuck the senbon into the hem of your coat. I guess your Shunshin must have broken the hinge in the storage scroll. Anko shook her head. So you cheated and got the examiner to smuggle you past the whole exam. You deviant little bastard, she said in admiration. Did Sasuke win? Naruto asked Naruto as he ambled back up the steps to the balcony. Heads turned as they saw Konoha's most orange ninja arriving somewhere that they had already thought that he was. Yeah, kicked ass, the Naruto on the balcony agreed. He leant over slightly. You need to... He pointed indiscreetly at Naruto's groin. Huh? Oh, okay, Naruto said, and the first Naruto vanished in a puff of smoke. Oh, he reached down and zipped himself up. Someone could have told me. Jeez. Everyone sighed and turned away, except for Ibiki and Anko, both of whom seized upon the truly important point. Uzumaki Naruto had been out of their sight for an unspecified period of time. Oh shit. Akamaru, Kiba instructed. You stay out of it. I'll fight alone. He raised one fist illustratively. I feel bad for you, so I'll end it with one punch. Ah, is that so? Naruto asked. What are you going to do? Punch yourself in the groin? Stop acting tough, snorted Kiba. Then, please begin, announced Hayate. Kiba immediately crouched, forming the seals for Beast Effect Ninpao Quadropped no Jutsu. Naruto ran forward at an angle, not closing in. Here I come, Kiba shouted and hurtled forwards, striking Naruto in the chest and hurling him back, through the high doors of the chamber. He won't be opening his eyes for a while, referee, the Inuzuka boy laughed. Is that so? Naruto's voice came from through the doors. Funny, I thought that you'd be stronger than that, Kiba. Oh well, be a good dog, he whistled shrilly. Heel! Why you? Kiba yelled and charged out of the doors towards Naruto's voice. Is that allowed? Leaving the room? Sakura asked. The Hokage chuckled. I suppose that it is. Hayate did say no rules, after all. There is a crashing sound from through the door, and the strong smell of bleach and other cleaning fluids wafted through, along with Kiba cursing. I suppose that I shall have to insist that Naruto clean up after himself, though. A moment later, Naruto trotted back into the room, towing a hog-tied, foul-mouthed, and brightly painted Kiba behind him on a length of rope. Really, Kiba, you should be better at spotting traps than that. Victory to Uzumaki Naruto, declared Hayate, stepping aside to stay upwind of Kiba. How did he set traps for Kiba in that length of time? Kurenai wondered out loud. Then she blinked. Wait, he went to the toilet during Uchiha Sasuke's match. He did it then. That's rather ingenious, Enko told her. After all, in a real fight, wouldn't you want to lure an opponent into an area you've booby-trapped? Orochimaru blinked as he saw the level of security arrayed around the stadium. It looked as if the entirety of Konoha's Anbu were there in full war gear, watching not only the approachers, but the entire audience. Teams of Chunin and even Jonin were examining everyone as they entered. This is quite an impressive display, he said politely to the Hokage as they walked together towards the elevated box where they would be sitting, putting on a show for the potential clients. The Sandaime Hokage shook his head. That is a useful side benefit, he said. This is more on the nature of ensuring that no one tampers with the outcome of the matches. You aren't suggesting that someone would try to embarrass the nation by cheating in front of all these witnesses, the supposed Kaze Kage said with clearly feigned innocence. One of the Genin has demonstrated a creative, if not technically illegal, perspective on the rules, the Hokage explained. It's certainly a good sign that he's ready to be promoted, but not the sort of thing to share with outsiders. However, with all these guards, I'm sure that nothing will go wrong. If anyone so much as tries to form a genjutsu, my Anbu will be on to them in an instant. And as for sneaking in under a hinge, no, nothing like that will be permitted. How reassuring, Orochimaru said, although the words tasted like ashes in his mouth as he started making covert abort signals to Kabuto and his other minions. Neji backed up as Naruto used his summoning. The younger boy had considerable chakra, so it was possible that he might summon something large enough to pose a minor threat to the Hyuga. Granted, he was destined to fall before Neji's greatness, but arrogance might allow him to wear the prodigy down before his next match against Uchiha Sasuke. The smoke dissipated to reveal a toad. Fortunately, one small enough that Naruto could lift it easily in one hand, which was exactly what he did. You are pathetic, Neji snorted. You actually think that you can defeat me? Shut up, Naruto said absently. Adults are talking. Hey, Gamakichi, tell your bro to do that thing we talked about, okay? And I'll get candy, right? The toad insisted in a high-pitched voice. Here's some now, Naruto told him, handing over a small bag to the toad, who vanished in a puff of smoke with a shrill, "Bye!" Neji rolled his eyes. Shall we proceed with your inevitable defeat now? Actually, I'm gonna win, Naruto said smugly. And how do you think you're going to do that? Sneered the Hyuga. I'm going to trick you. Give it up. It is your fate to be defeated. Your simple tricks won't defeat, he said before he vanished in a puff of ninja smoke. Naruto smirked. Diversion, he caroled. Hey, Mr. Examiner, how about you declare me the winner now? What did you do to him? Gemma asked. Vaporizing him is a little much, you know? Naruto grinned foxily. It's legal to use a summons, right? Yes, that was fine. But how? One of my summons used a summoning scroll for Neji. They're under orders not to bring him back until I'm declared the winner. How did you make a summoning scroll for your opponent? Examiner-san, a good shinobi never reveals his secrets, Naruto said. You win, Gemma admitted. Uzumaki Naruto, Gaara said flatly. I will kill you. No, you fool. Surrender immediately, hissed a voice inside his head, causing the Sand Genin to blink in surprise. That didn't sound like Mother. Who are you? He mumbled out loud, eliciting a puzzled look from Genma. Who are you talking to? Replied the more familiar voice in his head. Crush the orange fool to prove your existence. I am the great demon Kyuubi, the first voice shouted desperately. I order you to cease this before the boy destroys everything. Destroy everything? Gaara twitched. Yes, destroy everything, his mother crooned. You'll be killed, you idiot, the voice shrieked. He's a monster. It's taking all the power of myself, the great nine-tailed Nogitsune, to stop him from ending your existence on the spot. Gaara frowned. Kyuubi? He asked. Shukaku hesitated. Kyuubi? Yes, you imbecile, the voice shouted. I've spent the last decade trying to keep him from waking up, and your petty efforts are just making it harder. Do you want him to erase you from the universe? The chibi vessel began to shake. Kill him before he destroys me, he mumbled, sand rising around him towards Naruto. For God's sake, screamed the voice. Don't you understand? I sacrificed my life to enter Konoha and bind him away. Haven't you heard how I was vanquished by the Hokage? Would I, the greatest of all the Bijou, have permitted such a slight if the entire world's existence did not hang in the balance? You can't kill him. All you could ever do is awaken him, and if you do that, then you will die. What are you waiting for? Mother asked. Kill him. Prove your existence. He's noticed you! The Kyuubi shrieked, and Gaara noticed Naruto walking slowly forwards, a vile red chakra pouring from him. I must exist, Gaara mumbled. Mustn't die. Sweat broke out on his brow, loosening the sand slightly. I surrender! He screamed suddenly at Genma. Utter silence filled the arena. What? Genma asked the Sand Genin, who was now trying to hide behind him from a puzzled-looking Naruto. I said I surrendered. Gaara practically sniveled. Don't let him kill me. What the hell? Shukaku wondered. There was no verbal response from the other voice, only a slight puff of air in one ear that Gaara took for a sigh of relief. Naruto grimaced. Seriously, he said, looking at Gaara, you need to clean your ears out. That was totally disgusting. Have you ever heard of cotton buds? Kenkuro's eyes were wide as he looked down at Gaara. I don't believe it, he mumbled. Gaara's scared of him. I didn't think that Gaara was scared of anything. I didn't think he could be afraid. Tamari? He paused. Tamari? His sister was still standing very still, watching the arena floor, completely ignoring the disgruntled crowd, watching Gaara leave, and Genma beckoning for her to come down. Tamari? Kenkuro touched her shoulder, and the Kunoichi turned to reveal that her face was shockingly pale and her eyes large and desperate. I have to fight him? She asked in a childish voice. Someone that Gaara is scared of? Kenkuro looked around for help and saw no one was present to witness what he was about to do. Crack! What the hell? Tamari snapped, touching her face where her brother had backhanded her. Snap out of it, sis! Kenkuro hissed. We're looking like a bunch of pansies. I quit because of a plan that got trashed. Gaara just quit. You're the only chance Suna has of salvaging our reputation here. Just go down there and play things defensively. Hold out a respectable time and then surrender. No one expects you to win against a monster that can make our monster back down. Tamari stared at him and then nodded respectfully. Then she frowned. Kenkuro, I don't think a monster can be afraid. If Gaara, there's no time for this! Kenkuro growled. Go! Hi, Kazekage-sama, she said sarcastically, and hopped off the balcony, landing easily on the ground below. Genma chewed on his senbon. What kept you? I was in the shower, Tamari shot back, focusing on the examiner and not the enigma that she was going to have to fight. Right, whatever. Okay, fight now, Gaara said, throwing up his hands and backing up to what he hoped would be a safe distance. Uzumaki's tactics might be unusual, but they also tended to be quite precise. The Suna Kunoichi was another matter. Tamari raised her fan menacingly, as she could, while also preparing to dodge like her life depended on it. Naruto watched her and then smirked. You don't really look like you want to fight, he told her. Shut up! Tamari snapped, trying to ignore the sweat that was running down her neck or the itching on her cheek. She couldn't scratch it right now without lowering her defenses, so she'd just have to live with it. Oh shoot, groaned Naruto, looking at her face. It's itching, isn't it? Enko told me it would, but I thought that I got it neutralized. What's itching? Tamari asked nervously and jumped back, holding the fan in one hand as she looked quickly at her cheek. Naruto shrugged. Your cheek, of course. You probably don't want to do that. Now you've got it on your fingers. Tamari went white. What did you do? She shouted. Her fingertips were itching now. 3 different types of sack mixed in just the right proportions, Naruto told her. One of my clones applied it when you thought you were talking to your brother. It's really quite humane. The itching is the nerves burning out before the mixture starts eating through your skin. You probably won't feel a thing, and I forfeit! Tamari screamed. I forfeit! Get this shit off of me, you bastard! She grabbed a corner of her skirt with her hand. She rubbed her face and tore it off, using the scrap to rub frantically at the side of her face. Ah! Yep, Naruto yelled. Don't do that! You're rubbing it in deeper. Tamari froze. Now what we need is a neutralizing agent, Naruto said, rooting around his pockets for something. A very specific mix, much more complicated than original toxin. I mean, really, when was the last time you had to hand distill something? Get over here and give it to me, roared Tamari, noting that Naruto wasn't actually getting any closer to her. Well, there are some fumes from when it mixes with your blood that I'd really rather not breathe, if you know what I'm talking about, he told her reasonably. I'm not going to be able to help you if I'm seeing purple horseflies the size of elephants, am I? Naruto paused and frowned. You know, I'm not sure that I brought the neutralization fluid with me. Where did I put it? Tamari gave a frustrated scream and started stomping towards him. I'll rub this all over you, she shouted, pointing at her itching cheek. That should motivate you, damn it. Wait, Naruto shouted, backpedaling. There's another way. What? Take a shower, he offered hastily. That usually washes itching powder right off. Tamari froze for a moment. Itching powder? Uh-huh. Die. You know, the fight is over, Gemma shouted after the two of them as pursuer and pursuee disappeared into the distance. He shook his head. I thought that she'd already had a shower. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the reading of this fanfic. I hope you all enjoy, perhaps got a few giggles. Obviously, the person who wrote this for the tuning exams. And honestly, I think this fits in character with Naruto pretty well because even though it says he's technically cheating, he's also pulling pranks and doing things as a ninja should, which is lies and deception and prior planning. So, I intend on doing quite a few of these, mostly the shorter ones. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notifications for more content. And I will see you in a different video. Bye!